Yes, news of the week. It is for the week of November 17th through November 23rd. I have Michelle Ellis here with me as always. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Jackie.
Lots to talk about off of this past week. I mean, obviously, we have Warsaw Cup and we had Finlandia Trophy, but outside of that, there was a lot of stuff that was happening. And
A
let's
lot of
let's
news.
let's get to some citizenship news
hmm
because Michelle, I know you were eyeing this last week because Christina
What
Carrera.
a relief.
Yeah,
Bless up. Oh my, really? Like, they really made her wait for it. 12 years in America before she became a citizen.
I mean,
Crazy.
I just hope that she has already like put down the deposit for a lease for an apartment near the rink so
Me
that she
too.
doesn't have to go back and forth and back
Oh
and
my
forth and
God.
back and forth.
Yeah.
Like
Get
for
the
those of
passport
you,
and get out.
yeah, for those of you who don't know, because of the citizenship requirements, Christina has had to keep a residence in the US. And so to train in Canada, she's had to go cross the border basically on a daily basis. And
Twice a
apparently
day.
apparently the border agents know her very well.
They're watching ice dance.
I know.
Yeah.
I hope she.
It's a hard drive too. I mean, it's like there's water on either side. There's wind, there's snow. I mean, she's like climbing through the tundra to get to practice.
I mean, I really hope she got a chance to tell those border agents and
hmm
show off her new passport.
Goodbye forever. It's been real. Moving
I
back to
I
Canada.
bet she's still doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's Christina America Carrera.
Yeah.
Um, More on the U.S. figure skating skaters news. Camden Polkanen is back on the ice. He posted on
Yay.
Instagram and he said he's pain free and he's doing single jumps.
That's okay. Just,
He
he's got a couple weeks. How many did you tweet? We've got like 7 weeks till nationals.
7 weeks until nationals.
Yeah, he's fine. He'll be good.
Um,
And he's a man who thrives under
on
drama.
distraction,
Yeah.
and drama.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to make my trips back to Chelsea Piers now that I have not been there for a
hmm
while.
Yeah, go
Like,
skating. Go
yeah, let's
skating with Camden.
go find Camden and see how he goes. I texted him the other day. He was like, "I'm
hmm
fine." I'm like, "Okay." So we will see about that. More U.S. figure skating news. Audrey Shin, Balaj Naj. What happened, Michelle?
They got a new short program to music from Moulin Rouge, choreographed by Tessa Virtue. Megan Duhamel, that is like playing a trump card. Like, I dare you to leave my team off the Olympic team. I have Tessa Virtue's choreography. Tessa Virtue appeared on the Instagram page with my team. You will send them to the Olympics.
I'm so interested in how this choreography goes. I always thought that their Godfather short program got shortchanged.
hmm
I found it very mature, and an intricate, well skated program, and they kept getting, sixes and sevens in the component
Yeah.
scores for it. So we'll see where it goes. I mean, obviously the reputation wise, they just have not gotten there yet because of
hmm
the inconsistency in their skating. But I think they are worth more than the components that they have gotten. And so we'll see if this new short program is going to make any kind of difference.
You know what else would help their components?
What would?
If they had Tessa at the boards with them in St. Louis. Come on, Megan. You can make it happen.
Or if Tessa just went out there and started skating.
I wonder if this is Tessa's first time choreographing pairs. Because remember, she's done some singles choreography, but I don't know if she's done pairs before.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, for Tessa Virtue to do not just choreograph a program, but choreograph a Moulin Rouge program.
Megan called in a big favor. I mean, this was her big one.
Amazing. I'm excited to see it. They are scheduled to compete soon, and I think it's Golden Spin,
I see.
or is it Talon Cup?
It's Golden Spin.
Golden Spin.
hmm
So we'll see this Moulin Rouge program in 2 weeks. We'll see where it happens. Okay, we're going to go to the other side of the world. We're going to get a dog barking. Michelle, your dog is so excited all
She's
the
so
time.
excited.
Um, we're going to go to the other side of the world. Keiji Tanaka
Good
gets
for him.
married.
The pictures are beautiful. I was like, wow, I'm going to go to this wedding. It was gorgeous.
I mean, leave it to Keiji Tanaka to make a beautiful wedding because
Yeah.
you know his styling and packaging of everything that he's ever done has always been
Hmm.
just the most superb. For those of you who are maybe a little new to skating, Keiji Tanaka won 3 medals at the Japanese championships. He was second twice and third once, and he went to the Olympics in 2018. So, um, very much a beloved figure in Japanese skating because not only did he have a lot of success, and he was around for a long time, but he always had these like great little programs that were like there's a lot of personality in them, and it was very much him. And I always
Yeah.
loved the choreographic, uh, you know, kind of risks that he took.
Mm.
They were not cookie cutter programs; they were very unique to him.
Yeah. And he was tall, which is
Is he
not
tall?
something you see among a lot of jazz. Yeah, he had like a nice, like tall body line. He was maybe he just has long legs, and
And I think
I'm
he just has long legs because he's five
yeah.
foot 7.5, according to
Whoa.
Wikipedia.
Well, that's still 5 inches taller than Shoma.
I
So
mean, who isn't 5 inches taller than Shoma?
I remember
Hi
when I learned that
Shoma.
Yana Chokhlova and Meryl Davis are the same height. My mind was blown. Ziana's legs like go up to her neck. Anyway,
I mean, sometimes it's just body proportions, right?
yeah,
Keiji Tanaka and his long legs got married,
good for
and so
them.
that was non-competition news. But in competition news, we're going to talk about two things. One quick note was Japanese Junior Nationals is currently happening, and as we speak, we're in between the short program and the free skate. Ryo Nakata is leading. Mao Shimada is leading. None of those things should surprise anybody. They're likely going to run away with this thing. Ryo Nakata is coming back from a stress fracture injury.
Yeah, that he's had since the summer,
And
and
he
he's still
was like
doing
doing all those
quad toes,
crazy things on
and
the
they're
ice. Like
like
he's like,
he's like hovering. They're so good, and his
kid,
foot is crazy.
Rio,
Crazy boy. You
save
can't go to the
yourself,
Olympics. Just
please.
relax.
Save yourself
Yeah,
for seniors.
yeah.
Then kids will do what kids will do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, we'll see what happens. But yeah, they are the favorites, and they should, in all earnestness, get their titles. And what happens also, because Japanese Junior Nationals is happening right now, I think the top 6 from the men and the women go to the senior nationals to compete.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be fun as well.
Yeah. And we'll see Mao and Rio in Junior Grand Prix final in 2 weeks too.
Don't
Hopefully
remind
he
me.
ices his foot.
I know, so many things happening. I mean, yeah, so many things happening. On back over to this side of the world, U.S. sectionals just completed, and I'm not going to go through all 3 of the sectionals, but the qualifiers to nationals were basically the top 2 in each of the sectionals, plus for the men, the next 2 highest scores, and for the women, the next 3 highest scores, plus all the people who got buys. So the most of the people that and have been watching on the Grand Prix this season have gotten into nationals already, so I'm not going to go through those. But the other qualifiers coming out of U.S. sectionals for the men, Lorenzo Ilano, who's the reigning U.S. junior champion, Daniel Martinov, Emmanuel Savory, good to see him back.
Mm-hmm.
Will Annis, Goku Endo, Sam Mindra. I cannot
Woo
wait to
woo.
see Sam Mindra again at nationals. He's always the best.
Mm-hmm.
Kai Kovar, Michael Shea. So they are the last folks to fill out the 18-person roster for the senior men. And then for the senior women, it is Emilia Nemirovsky having a fantastic Midwestern, scoring 200.
Good for her.
I mean, I think she's such a talent. Like,
Yeah.
big jumps. She's been a bit inconsistent, but when she puts it together, she really has it. And so, like, she's one of those, and she doesn't squeak out her triples, right? Like, because her jumps are so big and she's got really big skating, they really generally work. Logan Higase Chen, good to see her make a comeback because she's had a rough season so far, and this was a good sectionals for her. Sophie Jolene von Felten. I mean, we're talking about
Junior champ.
Big hitters
You're gonna get
coming.
some quads at nationals.
Oh,
Can't wait.
Jolene.
Yeah.
Your favorite Ava Ziegler.
AMZ.
AMZ.
Let's go.
Katie Shen, Annabelle Wallace, Sonia Hilmer.
Woohoo.
Getting at her triple sal, double XO, double sal. Let's get that. Brooke Gewalt and Erica Machida. So those are the remaining of the women who qualified for U.S. sectional or for nationals through sectionals. I think two names that people might have expected but are not in there. Taira Shinohara for the men did not make it. He's the second alternate.
He's a good skater.
I know. And he had a challengers competition earlier this season too, so it was sad to not see him. But we'll see if the as a second alternate he might be able to get in. And then Alina Bonillo, who
Oh no!
yeah, I know
She didn't make it.
she Midwesterns was stacked.
Oh,
And
man.
she didn't get in the top two, and then she also had a not great free skate, so she didn't get in with the next best scores, and so she is the first alternate.
Okay, well that should work out for her. I'm gonna miss seeing her enormous jumps at nationals. If she
I
doesn't
know.
come in.
Yeah, exactly. So that's U.S. sectionals. Lots of very interesting up and coming names. I mean, very much. Some of these skaters are going to be the skaters we will be watching in the next quad. So watch out for that. All right. Well, that was news of the week for this second to last week of November, November 17th through 23rd. Well, welcome to the Rocker Skating Podcast, sponsored by John Wilson Blades. It is Finlandia Trophy week and Warsaw Cup week. Hi, Michelle. Have you caught up to everything yet?
Hi, Jackie. I'm traumatized. I'm a little bit too
Exhausted.
caught up this time, and it's been a weekend.
It was the first day of Finlandia Trophy. I just had my jaw to the floor for the most of it, and I couldn't deal.
Yeah, I mean, Ice Dance Technical Panel. When I find you, we're gonna have a conversation.
Yes, let's talk about that. We will talk
Oh my
about that.
gosh.
But we're gonna diffuse some of this
Okay.
energy first, and let's talk about Warsaw Cup.
Oh yeah. Okay.
This is interesting, right? Because we haven't seen the Challenger Series come back for a while. We were hot and heavy with the Challenger Series earlier in the season, and then obviously when Grand Prix Series is happening, they kind of like switch off, and now the Challenger Series is back on. This week is Warsaw Cup. Next week is Tallinn Trophy. The following week during Grand Prix final will be Golden Spin. So really kind of exciting next couple of weeks. Just because the Grand Prix Series is now done doesn't mean there's not going to be a lot of skating, because there's a lot of skating happening in the next few weeks before the end of the year. So Warsaw Cup, we're back. Let's quickly talk about the pairs, because Warsaw Cup was not a Challenger Series event for pairs. So understandably, there weren't that many pairs that were there. Originally, Anastasia Golubieva and Hector Giaptopoulos Moore were supposed to have done Warsaw Cup, and I think not surprisingly, given what they've been talking about with their citizenship things, they
Mm-hmm.
withdrew, and or they just didn't come. I don't know
Yeah.
I don't know which one it was. They are coming, or they are on the list for Golden Spin.
Yeah.
So we will see if that is happening. There is a likelihood. I mean, we were just talking about this, Michelle. There is a likelihood that there are multiple pairs or multiple countries with pair spots that will have to give up their pair spots
Yeah.
because of
There's
stuff like this.
lots of question marks this year, so it'll be interesting to see.
More question
Um,
marks than we thought there were
yeah.
going to be, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that later on in the season. So for the pairs, Deanna Stellato and Maxime Deschamps wins very handily. Vipan Law and Digby were second. McBeath and Parkman were third. Stellato Deschamps, they were like, we just want another competition before
Yeah.
we go to the final. I think
And
they
then we'll do
also
another
wanted to.
competition.
We'll
And
just
we'll
do
do
more
another competition.
competitions.
Yeah.
They did.
They
They
had some.
did. They did skate their best short. Well, their best scoring short program of the season, the
Mm-hmm.
76.
Mm-hmm.
And then their free skate was a bit of a mess.
Mm-hmm. They had some solo jump issues, to put it mildly.
I mean, the interesting thing about their solo jumps is somehow this year they completely got off sync. I think
Mm-hmm.
it sounded like maybe Max had like switched techniques going into their jumps, or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
And at this event, in the free skate, Deanna was saying she basically fell on her three turn going into the
Yeah.
triple toe.
I caught her heel and
Yeah.
fell backwards.
And I think she was so conscious of Max's jump and getting
Mm-hmm.
in sync with Max's jump that she wasn't paying attention to her own. So I think it's a continued tweak on their end. And their sows have always been kind of squeaked out. So I think
Mm-hmm.
those will continue to be the things that they will be watching out for especially now that their throws have gotten more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pairs. Let's get the men, because this was the men was an interesting set of skaters.
Yeah.
Vladimir Samoylov beats Lukas Britschke, and it wasn't even like it. Vladimir Samoylov skated very well and hit a
Yeah.
240 for his total score.
Yeah. He won both segments. He's got the power.
He has got the power. He's a bit of a crowd pleaser in a lot of ways, because he's a bit of like a cult favorite
Mm-hmm.
because of the like gigantic jumps that he has, but two, because he's a little nonchalant about his like choreography, and he's got this like sort of un I don't know what you want to call it, but like he's got this unassuming swagger about his
Yeah.
skating that I think people really like. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Lukas Britschke had some mistakes, ended up second. He was supposed to run away with this thing, and he didn't. Sammy Hammy
Who
from
is that?
France.
I don't know him.
Yeah,
He's an amazing name.
Sammy Hammy,
Yeah.
which I'm probably saying wrong, but
Maybe Hami? Sami Hami?
Sammy
I don't know.
Hammy, something. He's been on the French scene for a couple of years, and I think he was junior for the last few years. Am I getting this wrong? No, he's been in the seniors for a bit. Ninth last year
Mm.
at senior nationals, and this year he's been doing a pretty good job. I mean, silver at NRW trophies, silver at Coupe de Nice. Like,
Oh, good for him.
yeah, he's potentially someone to watch out for at nationals for that third spot. I mean, we've been talking about the third spot being, and the third spot for worlds, that is, being Luc Economide and Francois Pitot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, based on what Sammy Hammy has been doing, there's potential there. That was the men. Uh, for the women, ooh, we're gonna talk about more Canadian women later on this episode because there's another Canadian woman who was competing this week.
Mhm.
But what was it, last week or a couple weeks ago? Gabby Daleman posted a 181 at Ice Challenge, and we were like, she's the first Canadian woman this season to go over 180 points.
Yeah.
Like watch out. And then
We
Sarah Maud
found another
Dupuis
one. Yeah,
comes
and her triple axel.
comes with her triple axel and gets a 185
Good for
and
her.
wins Warsaw Cup. I mean,
I think this is her first international win, which is awesome. I mean,
very awesome.
yeah, and with a triple axel, which is just, I think, a first for Canadian women.
Yeah, this
Is
is
that the first one
this is
internationally?
for real the first one.
Yeah.
Because they Skate Canada sort of like jumped the gun and called the one that she did in the last international the first
Yeah.
one when she stepped
Yeah.
out of it. So this one was she landed right after the quarter. So it was called clean, and and she put it on one foot. So I mean, really good for her. Up
Mm-hmm.
until this year, she's only ever gotten one other medal internationally, and that was bronze at Tallinn Trophy last year.
Wow.
So
That's so exciting.
big win for Sarah Maud.
Yeah.
And then there were a couple of Italian women who were trying to figure out how to get more points.
This Italian women result is crazy.
Yeah, Marina Piretta. Who would
Yeah.
have thought?
Who?
I mean, she was around a few years ago, and
Yeah.
we all thought that Marina Piretta would become, at least somebody who's consistently on the scene, and then she
Mm-hmm.
sort of became inconsistent, and then she comes here and wins the silver. Mia Risa Gomez, who a lot of people really like, she's
Mm-hmm.
coached. Was coached by Agnes Zawatsky.
Mm-hmm.
Gets the bronze, 160, 196. Serena Joes gets fourth. And then Anna Pizeta, having the worst competition of her season, gets
Wow.
seventh
Wow.
here.
Yeah. It's rough.
Yeah. So it was an interesting kind of group of the Italian women here going for really trying to score the points. We'll talk about
Mm-hmm.
this when we go to the men for the for Finlandia Trophy, but we found new facts about the Olympic selection criteria for
Mm.
the Italian skaters, and I will talk about it more in a bit.
Yeah. I don't really think they're going to be that relevant when it comes to the women because
No.
we have someone way out in the front.
That
and
is
it's,
that is very correct. But Europeans is still a big
Yeah.
big part of this.
yeah.
Okay, ice dance.
Dance was interesting.
In a complete contrast to Finlandia Trophy, which we will talk about soon.
We got some
had
good scores.
Big scores
Yeah.
at Warsaw Cup. Laparieva Brissot goes over 200 for the first time this season internationally, 202.06,
Awesome.
and wins it.
They deserve it. They skated really well. I mean, yeah, good for them.
Lim and Kwan get a 190, like by
Mm-hmm.
far the biggest score they've ever gotten. It gets the silver. Green and Parsons was in very good position to, I think, really make a statement.
Yeah, they could have gotten a huge free dance score,
They
but
real-
Caroline had very surprising and out of nowhere fall in her twizzles. This team's a little jinxed this
I
year.
mean, hopefully
but-
they've gotten all the Twizzle jinx out of the way.
Yeah.
Because
But
that
Bradley
was
Somerville skated great. They were fourth. They were second in the free dance, and they got a 187.
Yeah,
And that's a lot of redemption after their very weird Grand Prix season where they were just so underscored.
completely strange.
Yeah.
I mean, Green and Parsons. So she fell and basically got the entire Twizzle sequence invalidated because she fell so early in it.
Yeah.
And they got 2 points and a fall deduction. So they got 1 point for that element, which means they basically lost 8 points.
Yeah, they would have been second, and they would have been a lot closer to the French.
Yeah. they would have been 180, 197 or
Mm-hmm.
so, and maybe their components would have been even higher. They would have been in
Mm-hmm.
197, 199 territory. Like,
They're very close to a 200.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, these Challenger Series dance competitions are always a little bit like there's sometimes when you see
Mm-hmm.
these like huge scores, and a lot because of the strictness slash leniency of the panels and what they
Mm-hmm.
call. So that was top three plus
Yeah.
Brady Somerville.
Yeah. I want to mention the Swedish team, Mila Rud-Reitan and Nikolai Meyerhoff, who had a really weird shoulder dislocation by Mila in the rhythm dance. And I watched it a couple times, and I feel like she did it just by dancing vigorously and the way she was moving her arms. Like she didn't have a fall, and it popped out, and then she was like really trying to get it back in, and they finished the program. And I mean, this is like if Yuko Kawaguchi was giving out medals for shoulder insanity, they would get it because this was crazy. They did lifts after she popped, well, a lift after she popped it back in, finished the program. So I'm guessing this has happened to her before because this was like,
Yeah.
but they ended up withdrawing and not doing the free dance. But I hope they get well soon. They're the first alternates to the Olympics, and I really hope that they're going to be there. So
I know.
get well, get well soon, Mila.
Get well soon. I mean, it's funny how many times Yuko Kawaguchi has been mentioned on this podcast because of
Mm-hmm.
dislocating shoulders.
Legend of Kawaguchi.
So yeah, hopefully sending our best wishes to a fast recovery for Reitan, for Mila Reitan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's talk about the craziness. Should we take a deep breath on this one?
Yeah.
There's a lot to say. Okay, we're gonna go straight to the dance and get it out of the
Okay.
way.
I have a lot of things to say. I want to get some like little things out of the way first. The Tashlers getting new costumes. A plus. They look great, especially Natalie's costume in the rhythm dance. She was in like white or light pink before, like you couldn't even see her. The pink costume is fabulous. The panel or the who is it that plays the music? The person playing the music
The
played
music operator.
the music operator played the wrong music for them in the rhythm dance. And I guess this had been a recurring issue where they couldn't get it uploaded. They played the wrong music in practice and everything. And then the wrong music plays in competition. And they just like figured it out. You know, they were so mad at the end, but I didn't realize during the performance. So I think didn't skate as well as they would have liked to have, but I think handled that well. And their coach, Maurizio Margalio, was very much like, you did it. They were
Yeah,
like, ah.
yeah.
I want to mention Davis and Smolkin changing the middle piece of their rhythm dance music again.
I
Okay.
liked it better the first change.
Yes, the first change. Okay, so now they're skating to Come Out and Play by The Offspring, and they've slowed it down so that it sounds like when you're having one of those dreams where you're trying to run and you can't run. Like that's what it sounds like. And I don't know if because they're very young, they don't realize that this song is incredibly popular and was on the radio and like
Yeah,
anyone our age knows it.
yeah.
So hearing this, I'm like, what is going on? This is so weird. So go back.
It
Their
was
free dance was amazing though.
it was like when Fear and Gibson slowed down,
Oh my God.
uh,
Yeah.
Spice Up Your Life, and
Yeah.
everybody was like, "Why would you do that?"
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
unslowed it.
Yeah,
So
they did. It's
you
like
know,
you're asleep and you like are trying to run away and you can't move and you're just like, oh, and
y-
it's like stressful.
look, Diana and Gleb, if you're listening to this, please go back to the cut that you
Yeah,
had.
whichever Offspring song it was. Also, the idea of like Marie-France Dubray like going through the Offspring's discography and listening to different pieces of music makes me laugh so much.
Okay, I do have to say, I continue to appreciate Davis and Smokin so much for how they, and maybe this is something that they have chosen to do very deliberately after a couple of
Hmm.
years of people being like, you shouldn't be scoring as high as you do, right? Like,
Hmm.
which was true 4 years ago.
Hmm.
And they've really, ever since they've moved to Montreal, they have really, one, improved, especially Diana Davis, on just basics, and then two, they have deliberately made choices to stand out as
Mm-hmm.
with unique elements in their programs,
Mm-hmm.
and their lifts were just so cool.
So cool. That curve lift in that free dance was crazy cool.
I mean,
So cool.
he's on a right back outside edge hydroblade on
Mm-hmm.
one foot while she's balancing on top of him.
On one hand,
On what
crazy.
it's and they don't get enough credit for stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, ding them for flat edges and stuff, but like
Mm-hmm.
you gotta give credit where credit's due,
Mm-hmm.
and those lifts are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So they ended up sixth, right behind the Shibutanis,
Mm-hmm.
who did definitely look better
Yeah, they had
this time
some
around.
changes to their free dance I thought were good. They re-choreographed the 1 foot turns, modified some of the choreographic elements. I still think they look quite slow in that program, but yeah, I mean, working on things, scores went up a little bit. I think they're on the right track heading into nationals, where who knows what will happen.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, but I think the the overarching story of the dance event was the insane calls by the technical panel,
You
who,
think?
in the trend of like Skate America and like Skate Canada, were very, 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 very strict. Strict to the point where the skaters were like, what is going on? Like Piper and Guillaume both like spoke to the media and were like, this is not acceptable. It's like disrespectful. You're treating us like we're juniors. So Laurence Fournier-Beaudry and Guillaume Cizeron, they won both segments. They won this event. That in itself is great, but their scores were so low. They got so many technical calls and so many weird things happening. I want to mention their serpentine step sequence in the free dance, where they both got level one. And I just want to say, if those turns aren't clean, what is a clean turn? Because like, and it's like frustrating to me how good they are. Like I just can never believe it when they are so good. They skate so close together. They're so clean. It's just like they're like on another level. That's just unbelievable. And then they're getting hammered with all this stuff. It's like, what do you guys want? I mean, this is like godly, and you're just giving it a one, reviewing it down.
So, yeah, I mean, Mark Andretti and I were texting about this and having a
Yeah,
bit of a conversation during the
Mark had a
event.
big weekend.
And what I will say is the reason these things are being called is less about the depth of the edges going into turns and out of turns. It
Mm-hmm.
is literally where the edge is at the cusp of the turn. We talked about
Mm-hmm.
this a few weeks ago, where about like the jumping of turns, right? It's that's where you,
Mm-hmm.
your blade basically kind of comes off the ice like ever so slightly, and
Mm-hmm.
you jump the cusp of the turn. This is not that, but this is the fact that at some point in your turn you have to lilt upward in your
Mm-hmm.
body movement so that your body then initiates the turn, right? And when you do a change of edge turn, right? Like a three turns a change of edge turn. You go from an outside edge to an inside edge. A counter is a change of edge turn. You go from an outside edge to an inside edge, or inside edge to an outside edge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you change edges, it becomes very difficult to not then go on a flat right
Mm-hmm.
before you change edges. And then really the one that is probably the easiest to not go on a flat on is the rocker skating podcast. But the one that is the one that is a same edge to same edge that is actually very hard to keep
Mm-hmm.
is the bracket.
Yeah, nobody gets brackets.
Brackets are so like there's a reason why in single skating you see falls on brackets all the
Mm-hmm.
time. What like when there's a fall in a step sequence, I don't know, 50% of the time it's probably a bracket.
Mm-hmm.
It's because brackets are ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
They're not fun to do. They are much easier to do when you are not going fast.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons that these turns end up you know, you watch the lobes and you're like, wow, they're really deep into their edges, and then they get called a one. One of the reasons why this panel specifically is calling them not clean is because they're going into the cusp, not on an edge. And the faster you skate, the harder it is for you to control that without basically like doing a Rion Sumiyoshi like slip off your edge fall.
Yeah. Oh God, poor
Like
girl.
like that kind of stuff just happens
Yeah.
when you are too deep and
Yeah.
you're not able to actually initiate the turn. So there's a lot to that, and
It's too
this
strict.
this panel
You
was
can't do it
very
in
strict on that.
you can't do it in competition. I mean, they're not doing figures. They're trying to skate a program. If they were out there doing these elements and figures, they'd be clean.
And to the point of figures, like if anybody's ever watched a figures event, they are going so slowly,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's not too a beat. It's not, you know, whatever. Like it's anyway. It's a lot to be said.
I'm trying to think. I want to say it was the 72 Olympics. There's an incredible.
72.
So we had this awesome producer at
Wow.
ABC, and his name was Doug Wilson, and he was a director, and he loved, who was second in 72? He loved her.
And for the women,
Annette,
Dykstra. That's 72.
but I found a video of her doing figures shot by Japanese television at the Olympics. And it was unbelievable because you would not know that this was like 1972. I mean, it looked like
It
today.
was like
It was
beautiful.
amazing. Yes. God knows what size of equipment they had doing that. But
Wow,
um,
I'm totally wrong. Karen Magnuson was second in
no, that was not
1972.
hers. Let me see. We are in a rabbit hole.
I know.
Let me see.
Somebody's going to text me and be like, Dykstra won the gold medal in 1964. How dare you? 8 years. I mean, it was
No, you
Beatrix
know what? I think
Schuba.
it was the winner, Beatrix Shuba, I think he was so obsessed with. Yeah. But he always talked about her figures, and I remember I found a video of her doing them, and they were just
Well,
unbelievable.
she did one. She did win compulsory figures.
Yeah.
So
I'll find that and I'll send it to you, and you can tweet it out for anybody who wants to nerd out over figures. But
figures.
yeah, they're so slow. And this is like, and also to change this mid Grand Prix in the Olympic season, do it next year. You know, you want to be this strict, do it next year.
Yeah. I mean, trust me in that
Yeah.
the in the next competition, the calls are going to be very different.
Well, it's easy. It's interesting because things usually even out at the Grand Prix final.
Yeah.
The other thing that was they were so strict about was in the rhythm dance. They called Fournier Boudry and Cizerone's opening choreography as their choreographic rhythm sequence,
Yep.
which clearly was not their element plan. And the judges were all confused by it. None of them entered GOE on it at first. They were like, "Wait, what?"
Like what?
And I haven't gotten a clear answer on exactly why this happened, but I think it's because they started so close to the boards. They were so far past center. So they saw, oh, it's barrier to barrier. The other thing I was thinking is there's a pattern limit, like a pattern rule in the rhythm dance, and you can only cross the long axis twice for the like choreographic in the middle, for like the choreographic rhythm sequence and the midline step. But
It's all crazy.
it's like, and the thing is, you're the technical panel. You know you're going to do this. Maybe you tell someone so that the team doesn't go out there and just whiff this element. Like, what? What? I thought we were supposed to do things in the best interest of the athletes.
Like
Anyway,
there was just I mean they even like literally put it into their program elements as
yeah,
the last thing that they do.
yeah,
There's something about that just like it sits with me really wrong.
mm-hmm,
It's not like somebody like in single skating sometimes it happens where you like pick in for like a toe loop and then you
mm-hmm,
don't end up leaving the ice and then they call it a
mm-hmm,
jump, and that happens,
yeah.
and that's the thing.
Set up your axle
Yeah,
and then not do it.
and then not do it. 0A, and
Mm-hmm,
but this was not it. It was literally
yeah,
choreography. Like there's a lot you can say
mm-hmm,
about Fournier Baudry and Cicerone's rhythm dance, but that as a choreographic sequence, they literally were doing that for 5 seconds. Like you
Yeah.
cannot. It doesn't even look like a choreo sequence. It
It
looks like
felt,
choreo.
yeah, like deliberately malicious.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
It's
was
it was rough.
I was remembering in Sochi when Ashley Wagner did her free skate, they entered three flips as her in her program. Like the caller was like flip, flip, flip. And so there's three flips. So she was losing credit for the third one. And they went back and fixed it. And the one that was supposed to be a Lutz, they changed to three Lutz E. They didn't say, oh, I saw three flips, so you don't get the third one.
Yeah,
You know, like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It was a lot.
There's a lot of
This
energy
this by
expended
the
on this dance
oh,
event.
so much energy, and it was the last thing that we saw in the first day, and basically, and it was the first thing that we saw in the rhythm dance. So I spent the entire first group trying to figure out what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, the interesting thing was Raskova and Razak also got a similar call last year at Skate America, and I watched their Skate America rhythm dance where their opening choreography they got called a character step or a choreo step, and then watched the Grand Prix de France version, which is the one where they apparently fixed it, and it looks fairly similar. They were just a little bit closer to the judges, and to your point about the long axis, maybe that's what it is, but also it's just ridiculous.
Can't you just like give them a warning or something the way they give you a warning when the music beat is off? It's like
Yeah, I don't
so
know.
punitive.
It is what it is. That is to say, the standings ended up being the standings. It's just the point totals were not as
Yeah.
high as
I think
they
the
otherwise would
standings
have
are
been.
probably right. But
Fournier Beaudry wins it 204. Gilles Poirier 202. The two of them get into the Grand Prix final.
this whole
And
podium's
then
going to the final.
Zingas Kolesnik. They
Yeah.
needed to be bronze here with a certain score, and they got bronze with a high enough score to break the tie between them and Ledroit Lega, and they go to the final.
And kind of unbelievable. I don't think Igor Spielban has smiled so much in the last 20 years. Every time I've seen him this season with them, he is just like beaming.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially Amelia Zingas was over the moon. I mean,
Yeah.
I was messaging with her, and she just it was just like brain explosion emojis
Yeah.
going back and forth. It was
Yeah.
she was very excited about the being able to get into the final, and this changes the game. Like it is now them and Shock and Bates for the U.S. going to the final, and it is not Carrera Ponomarenko. It is not Green and Parsons, right? It is
Yeah.
not Bratty Somerville. This gives them a very different kind of cred going into U.S. nationals. And at some point in the next month, we'll talk about the U.S. national selection process, because it is, like many other countries, parts of it is based on adding up scores from the season, and also adding up scores from specific competitions of the season, like the Grand Prix final, and those things count quite a bit. So
I'm pretty sure this is the first time this Olympic cycle that two American teams have qualified for the final.
Carrera Ponomarenko hasn't? Why
No,
do
I
you
just
think
pulled
that
up
they have?
their ISU bio. I mean, they haven't won medals at both of their events in a season except last year. Last year they were second and third at their events, but they did not qualify. I think they were the alternate. They've been to the JGP final a couple times, but not the Grand Prix final.
That's interesting. My brain has been revisionist historying this whole thing. I swear they've been in the Grand Prix final and they haven't. So that's interesting. Okay, well that was ice dance. we could do an extended episode about this whole thing and still
Oh,
be talking for 2 hours.
I have one more ice dance comment.
What is the
Olivia
one more?
Smart's core strength is unbelievable. That choreo lift at the end of their free dance, I was like, I would just be hanging there by my armpits. She just like pulls herself right up. She's amazing.
She's literally doing a headstand on his back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like without much of like a support.
Yeah.
It was
Crazy. I love
crazy.
Dune too. It's good.
Okay, well, if you
Okay.
have one more, I also have one more.
Okay.
There are two things from Una Brown and Gage Brown that I love so much in their free dance. I mean, their free dance is just such a good
It's so
program,
good. Yeah.
but the choreo slide is amazing. It reminds me of
Mm.
last year when Lopariva Brissot did their choreographed
Oh
slide,
yeah. Uh-huh.
where she basically is in like a single knee position
Hmm.
and like kicks her leg above him and like
Yeah.
I mean, talk about core strength.
Yeah.
And then in their character step, one of the most effective character steps of the season, she flips him over and he does a front flip. She basically is like, like a
Yeah.
wrestling move kind of
Yeah.
thing, but it was very elegantly done. Um,
She flips him over the table.
yeah, and then
Flip your brother by his neck.
she kills him at the end. I mean, there's so much happening in this program.
I I know that they're like an outside contender for the Olympic team, but that program would be so fun in Milan. It's very Italian too.
Italian American,
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah,
like
and
as Italian as American made cannolis.
Gage Brown wasn't the only athlete who spilled blood onto the ice at this
Oh, I
competition.
guess we're segueing to the men. Let's go. Uh, Andreas Norderback.
Mm, that was crazy. I,
I mean,
I, I didn't see. They didn't show it on the feed, but I saw on Twitter
nobody
that
saw it.
there were people out there with brooms in
Yeah.
between each person trying to scrape his blood off the ice. There was so much of it. How did he
Uh,
hurt his hand in warm up?
Andreas came Norderback
Mm-hmm.
with a bandaged hand.
Mm-hmm.
My guess is he somehow like sliced his hand,
Mm.
like during like when he put his hand down on on a
Mm.
jump or something,
Mm.
because that's the kind of freak accident that leads to that. I mean, one, they were scraping blood off the ice. Two, nobody seems to have seen it.
Yeah.
Three, he was like the Walter Virtanen's scores were delayed because they were bandaging his hand.
Mm.
And then four, he was bleeding so much. I think he was lightheaded at the end of the program. I I really I
Blow the
really did
whistle.
not I really did not think the referee should have let him skate with that kind of injury.
No. Although I'm remembering. Remember when Megan Duhamel cut? It was Eric Radford, right? She cut his hand. Or was it Craig Button? One of them. One of Duhamel's partners. She raised her back, like her leg, back in a spiral and cut his hand on warm up. And they went out to do their free skate, and her dress was covered in his blood by the end of it. Covered.
I cannot.
Oh, that happened.
It's so much. And he goes out and skates one of the best programs he skated all season.
Yeah,
Talk
it's
about
good.
someone who works well with distraction.
Mm-hmm.
I stand by my word that I don't think he should have been allowed to skate for his
Where
own
was
safety.
Dr. Walter Vertinen when we
I
needed
know
him?
it's like
He was in the kiss and cry.
would have been hilarious if he just like sprinted out there and like performed CPR or something. Um, I mean, there's also I think Sweden has specific rules. The Swedish Olympic Committee has specific
Mm,
rules on um, points that you need to score. I mean, I think
mm,
Andreas was very, very much like I need to do this program.
mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't know. It felt a little reckless, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
being honest. Okay, well, the men's event, besides the blood that was spilled on the ice, was all over the place once again, and even skaters who we thought would not be all over the place, i.e. Yuma Kakiyama, were
Mm-hmm.
all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he ended up winning rightfully because it was just such a crazy um, competition. But I don't think I would have expected these words to come out of my mouth ever. But the two cleanest skates were by the two Canadian men.
Yeah, they were. I mean, crazy things can happen. I Steven Gogolev's short program was out of this world. He skated that like he was the protagonist in a like I don't know, like British crime movie directed by Guy Ritchie and with that like hip hop editing. He was so on in that program. I like finally got it. I got the suit. I
Did
got
you? Did you
I
get the
got it.
suit?
I was there for it because he's supposed to be so unassuming at the beginning. You don't even think about it, you know?
Mm.
Maybe Mark telling the story of the program helped me get into it, but I was like, where did this come from? He
Mark
was
doing
awesome.
Mark doing the skating lord's work with
Yeah,
his
he is.
descriptions.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steven Gogolev with the bronze
Hmm.
medal. I mean, we talked about this in the previous show. Gogolev and Sadovsky have been head to head now 4 times this season. So Roman Sadovsky won one of them handily. Steven
Hmm.
Gogolev won another one handily. They were basically tied in their last Grand Prix. And now Steven Gogolev wins by 10 points here
Hmm.
at Finlandia. And Roman Sadovsky skated pretty well too.
Really
Like
well. He's fourth.
both
Hmm.
of them have been very consistent this season. And I would say Steven has a slight edge going into Canadian Nationals, but it is really whoever wins Canadian Nationals is going to go to the Olympics. It's um, as Michelle whispers Keegan into the microphone. It will be very interesting. And also, what we didn't talk about with Warsaw Cup was Wesley Chu is back,
Hmm.
but he's not quite back yet. He's
Hmm.
still struggling with the jumps after a long injury layoff. So lots to potentially see with the Canadian men. Okay, let's go to the actual top two here. Yuma Kagiyama wins it
Hmm.
with a 270, which he wanted to score over 300 points
Hmm.
here, and he was 30 points away from that. A lot because he fell on the quad sow, which is
Hmm.
his money jump in the short program, and then he had a kind of a brain fart in the free skate. It was going so well. The first half
Yeah.
was phenomenal.
He had a Midori Ito moment.
Yeah, I mean he had a Deanna Stellato almost moment where he stepped into the 3 turn for his quad toe and just like slipped a little bit and mistimed
Yeah.
it and didn't pick in. And so he basically turned out of it and was like, I don't have any more room here. And then he
Triple flip.
went and did a triple flip and almost fell into the camera,
Hmm.
and stepped out of the triple flip. And so without that, he didn't have the triple flip, triple loop that he planned. So that was
Hmm.
points off. And then he went to the other side where he was supposed to have done the triple flip and tried to do a quad toe and then fell on that. And
Hmm.
then stepped out of the triple axel double toe. Like basically because of that mental lapse or the just like the fluke
Hmm.
trip on the quad toe setup, he lost like 20 points out of that. And so
Hmm.
um, still, it was still the best set of programs of the whole event.
Yeah.
Adam Xiao was not a complete disaster, but he ends up with a silver. But he did like his free skate was just all over the place. I think he had
Yeah.
two clean jumps in the entire
He was
thing.
really bleeding points on
Yeah,
every element.
the
Hmm.
continued theme of bleeding, but this is metaphorical. Um, GOE bleeding.
Yeah.
I mean, he lost probably 30 points
Yeah.
from just like not getting all the jumps in
Hmm.
as clean as they should have been. So I'm probably exaggerating on the 30 points, but it was a
I
lot of
don't know.
points.
When he does his jumps well, they're beautiful.
Yeah,
And it's like to get negative GOE on them, that's a big hit
yeah,
on all the different jumps he tries.
yeah, totally. And then, of course, Jason Brown had a golden opportunity or a silver opportunity that he did not take,
Hmm.
um, and just had trouble with his triple axel in the free skate and ends up fifth. And so Yuma Kagiyama and Adam Xiao, as expected, go to the Grand Prix final, and it was Daniel Grossel as opposed
Crazy.
to with 20 points.
The Pope.
The
The
Pope
Pope
is
himself.
the Pope is going to the Grand Prix
Yeah.
final. Jason needed to be silver,
Hmm.
and he could have been looking at these
Yeah.
scores. He
He could
could have
have.
been
He could
easily
have
silver. He could
won
have
this
won this
event.
whole thing.
Yeah.
If he would have been clean, he would have won the whole thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Jason's always in the last couple of seasons he's been a late season skater,
Hmm.
and so he's got 7 weeks to get it together for U.S. Nationals.
He's really been telegraphing his triple axles this season. I feel like it's gotten longer. Um, yeah, I think that might be part of what threw him off in the free skate.
Can we please change the free skate? Like he is one of those. Like
Yeah.
he cannot have his last season be this free skate. That is like it never goes anywhere.
Yeah. Bring
And
Cinderman back.
and Jason Brown is trying his darndest with this material. And if Jason Brown can't bring this material alive,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Maybe he could bring back his Riverdance free skate, and then he could have both
Riverdance Part One
programs.
and Riverdance
Yeah.
Part Two,
Yeah.
and then he just comes back with his
Yeah.
2014 costume
Yeah. There you
and
go.
a fake ponytail.
Fake ponytail.
Jason Brown, we got it for you. Get a wig, fake ponytail, and go wear your 2014 costume and do Riverdance for your second
Yeah.
program.
He should bring the Impossible Dream back. That would be great.
I any
And
of
he had
them,
it for a while. It's so comfortable on him.
any of them. Bring back the
Hmm.
piano. I love that piano program. Um, so Jason Brown was fifth. Okay, I want to talk about the Italian men. This is going to be a very
Okay.
long episode. A few weeks ago, we had some intel from our friend Nikolai Memela, from our other friend Nick McCarville, where Nikolai Memela basically said, okay, it is, for the Olympics, it is just literally you add up the scores. It's two internationals and Italian nationals, and one of the international competitions can be
Hmm.
substituted by an Italian test skate. It's a little different than that. I actually finally found the rules online, and so it's fairly similar to what he was saying, except if it is not a Grand Prix event, the event, whatever it is, whether it's a challenger or if it's an Italian test skate, that gets multiplied by a factor of 0.95.
Mm.
So it doesn't change the current standings quite that much, right? The standings are still what we thought it was, which was Danielle Grossel with a comfortable lead, and then Memela and Matteo Rizzo in a fairly similar position. But because the two competitions that both Rizzo and Memela are counting right now outside of Italian nationals are counted with a factor of 0.95, they are actually closer than we thought they were going into
Mm.
Italian nationals. Now, the other thing is there's another Italian test skate coming up this week, which Rizzo and Memela are going to be at. So another chance for them to separate themselves a little bit from the rest of the competition.
One of
No,
them has to break away and pull ahead. Come on.
or we just go in with a nail biter,
Yeah.
and the fact that it is not as simple as just adding up the points. There's a
Hmm.
clause in the rules that states that after Italian nationals, they will be the Olympic roster will be the top two based on the points,
Mm.
plus and then the substitutes based on the points. But if the point total of the skaters are less than 30 points apart, the technical commission reserves the right to send up a substitute or propose one of the substitutes goes instead of.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So Grassel's pretty much the only one who's locked.
that
And the other one's
for now
really-
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Um, now it would be I think it would be a huge controversy for them to be
Yeah.
doing something like that, but who knows? The they did say that ISU world rankings will
Hmm.
be taken into account for that, and
Oh, come on.
currently the season's world ranking for Rizzo is a little bit higher than for Memela.
Rizzo's been competing for like 3 Olympic cycles.
I mean, yeah,
I just want to say that I wouldn't want to be the person who denies Nikolai Memela an Olympic spot and then has to face Barbara Fusar-Poli, who's choreographer and, long time second to mom. I mean, I
long time death starer,
yeah. I mean,
Barbara
he's known her
Fusar-Poli.
since he was like an infant. He used to do ballroom dancing with her daughter. So,
Well, let's just say it is not as simple as what we thought it was,
interesting.
and
Very
there's a
interesting.
little bit of complexity to it.
Hmm.
Uh, we will see what happens. Italian nationals is in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So that will be this will be a tense month for everybody over there.
Hmm.
But that is also to say, Laranaki Gutman's standing is fairly good now,
Hmm.
especially given that she's now had two 200-point plus programs. And then, same thing with the pairs with Conti Machi and with
Hmm.
Gilardi Ambrosini. And Guignard Fabry are like, there's no
Hmm.
way they're not getting on the Olympic team. So, really, the intrigue is going to be with the men.
Hmm.
All right, the men. Let's talk about the pairs. Because pairs was really good.
Well, it was
Some of it was.
close.
Some of it was really
It was
good.
close. The teams that I really wanted to, well, the team that I really wanted to see skate well didn't have the best performance in the short. So that, I mean, Nagaoka and Miraguchi, who I love, they were better in the free skate.
Yeah.
But I really was hoping they could get on the podium here, but they kind of took themselves out early with mistakes in the short.
This was like
Hmm.
somewhere in between what they've been
Hmm.
doing, right? Like it's either
Hmm.
been they've been totally on or they've been totally off. And here
Hmm.
it's like this was an average competition for them, and it's good to
Yeah.
see that an average competition for them gets them a 193.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
Hmm.
they get their act together, and boy, they are ready for like they are going to be ready
World
for the world
podium.
podium.
Yeah.
Like this is one of those things where after the Olympics, if people retire and that kind of stuff, like they could very well be in the mix there.
Hmm.
Be kind of interesting. But they've got the next 4 years to establish themselves.
Hmm.
That's the 2030 Olympic favorites, right?
Hmm.
Now, Efimova, Mitrofanov, probably the skates of their life. I think better than what they did at Boston.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was thinking Boston, maybe with the crowd and everything,
Yeah,
but they skated really
they
well.
skated really well.
The free skate, I've never seen Elisa get the jumps around like that with the height. It was really interesting. It was
Yeah.
just sort of like how she pulled that out. Yeah, they skated really well.
It's so much
Um,
with timing for her because I've seen
mm,
her do that in practice and I'm like, oh
mm-hmm,
yeah, you could do these.
mm-hmm,
And I think there's something with competition and she just gets a little bit quick on the tap or
mm,
a little bit quick on the edge pull on the sow and it
mm-hmm,
doesn't go. And here it worked. Her jumps are always a little bit wonky. It reminds me a little bit of Mandy Wurzel back in the day where it's like you're just hoping and praying
yeah.
she lands on the ice. They're not like technique wise they're not as bad as Mandy Wurzel's
Mm-hmm,
jumps
mm-hmm,
were.
yeah.
But it is one of those like when she does it,
Mm-hmm.
she does it.
It's yeah. It's just not that often,
Yeah.
you know.
Cam and O'Shea, Ellie Cam with a costume malfunction right before
Yeah.
she gets on the ice, and Marie France had to go and sew her back together because I think there was probably a zipper malfunction
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that she didn't let that bother her, and it was and I think look, jumps solo jumps aside, she landed her throws. Like that's
Yeah.
a big deal for her.
Yeah. Yeah, they skated with some attack at this competition,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was like pleasantly surprised to see
Yeah.
them fighting. Um,
it very much
Yeah.
like going into nationals, we are probably looking at these two as the favorites, but
Yeah.
you
Their
never
free
know.
skate, their free skate is still so strange. It's such an odd compilation of music, but I mean, if you only like pay attention to the moment you're in and you don't think about it as like a whole piece, it's like, oh, okay. It's like it feels like three short programs.
Sweet Dreams into Eleanor
Eleanor
Rigby
Rigby.
into Everybody Rule Wants to Rule
Yeah.
the World.
Yeah. It's odd, but
They're all sort of they're also all sort of like emo-ish.
yeah.
Um, Hasse Volodin wins it.
Hmm.
Arguably, should Efimova and Mitrofanov have won it?
I don't know if I'd go that far. I'm a little concerned about Hassan Volodin not being as consistent, or there's just sort of like a spark missing, and these weird mistakes. And I feel like their quality is so high that they can make those and still, win believably win a competition. But like I'm curious what's going on and why it's kind of striking them this season after kind of two really strong years.
I continue to have the thought that they need to go back to four seasons for their free skate.
Yeah, oh, I don't like their free skate.
The
It's
free
kind of
skate,
sleepy.
the free skate, similar to what we were saying with Jason Brown, it never
Mm-hmm.
really builds.
Mm-hmm.
And four seasons last year was such a vehicle for them, and there was a strength, there was a like
Mm-hmm.
intensity to that program that you
Mm-hmm.
don't see with this free skate. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they sort of, because of the music, they just sort of never get to a point where they look like they are really assertive
Yeah,
in
for
the way
sure.
that they're skating. So I mean, in a lot of ways, the way that these last couple of competitions have gone for Hasse Volodin, like
Mm-hmm.
I I don't quite see them in the conversation for Olympic gold as much
Agree.
as
And
earlier in the season or last season.
end of last season, I would have been like, they're going to win the Olympics. And now I'm just like, I hope they can get on the podium,
Right.
but we'll see what happens with these performances they've been having.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
I
I.
mean, they still make it to the Grand Prix final, and I
Hmm.
think what will be interesting is how these six pairs get
Hmm.
scored across the board. I mean, I think
Yeah.
you have the right six pairs going to the Grand Prix final, and with the exception of maybe a continued improved Sway and Han, right?
Hmm.
This really is the fight for especially the top five, the fight for the Olympic podium. And it will be very interesting to see who gets the upper hand at Grand Prix final
Hmm.
for the pairs. The women.
This was supposed to be one of the bloodiest events of this site, the circuit. Like this was so stacked, and there
This recurring
was.
theme of blood,
I don't know
Michelle.
why. I don't know why I'm doing this today. But I think there were a lot of issues that people had in this competition that kind of took them out of contention. And it was just kind of interesting and ended up kind of being a like top two versus who can get bronze. Whereas I thought this was really kind of going to be a crazy fight for all of the medals.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Well,
Um,
it started with Luna Hendricks getting some kind of stomach bug,
yes.
and
Yeah.
she was saying she basically she couldn't eat.
Yeah.
I
She
think
felt so weak.
yeah, I think a lot of this, if I'm being honest, like I think she was like, let's give it a shot in the short program, because
Mm-hmm.
I think she had Grand Prix final aspirations. Like
Mm-hmm.
if she could just grit through it and do a good short program, maybe there's some kind of miracle that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
She fell twice in the short program, and she was like, see you later. This is not
I'm
worth
gonna go
it.
home.
Yeah. Like I think if she would have skated a good short program, she would
Mm-hmm.
have tried the free
Mm-hmm.
skate. But given that one, like it doesn't really matter anymore,
Mm-hmm.
given her Grand Prix final shot was completely gone,
Mm-hmm.
and like she just felt like, you know, it like she just felt like death,
Yeah.
during the week. Good choice for her to just be like, I don't need this.
Yeah.
um,
I live
and,
nearby. I'm gonna go
yeah,
home.
and then
Short flight.
and then Belgian nationals was just the return of Nina
Yeah.
Pinzarone. Like,
Yeah.
um, going to the Olympics, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where it started,
Mm-hmm.
and
And
then it
then
continued.
Rion Sumiyoshi.
Oh my goodness.
She made that mistake. It was her flip, right? She like stepped out of it, and it was
Yep.
like, oh, because it felt like she was really focusing. Like she's like, I'm gonna do a good short program
Yep.
here, because she's more of a free skate skater. And she stepped out of her flip, and then she had that weird slip on her blade in the steps where she just like, I mean, heads, feet over head fall.
Those are
It
the
was,
worst falls. They
yeah,
really like. Oh,
yeah, it reminded me once I slipped in the lobby of the ABC building and I fell on my tailbone and I was sore for weeks. And I was like, this poor girl, she has to do a free skate in this condition and then go to Japanese nationals.
it's very much like that very cartoon slipping on the banana peel
Yes.
kind of thing, which is basically what happens, right?
Yeah.
Because you've at that point your body weight is so far behind you that you have
Mm-hmm.
lost all conception of friction on
Mm-hmm.
your blade, and it
Mm-hmm.
just goes, and like there's nothing you can do about it, and you have no idea how to brace yourself for the fall, and
Yeah.
it's awful. I mean, Michael Parsons had that at the
Yeah.
in his Twizzles in that
Mm-hmm.
freak fall where he like broke his pelvis, exaggerated, but
Tweaked.
tweaked his pelvis. I would not be surprised if Rion Sumiyoshi like takes a few days off, because like
Yeah.
this is not gonna feel good for a
Yeah.
bit. But
Her crying in the kiss and cry
oh,
was so sad. I felt so bad for her.
I mean, and the crying is like partly because of the program, but also in big part because she's like, oh no, Olympic spot. Like
Yeah. No
she
final.
she came in
Mm-hmm.
here wanting to get into the final, which
Mm-hmm.
would have been a big boon to her,
Mm-hmm.
her chances at getting to the Olympics. They're not gone, but they're just, the Olympics, or the Grand Prix final berth would have been very helpful for
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
And so, and then she didn't really get it back together for the free skate, not surprisingly,
No.
given she's probably still hurting.
Yeah. Some bad falls in there.
Yeah, some weird falls in
Weird.
there.
Yeah.
The Let me going back to that step sequence fall. If you slowed it down, what ended up happening was that her left toe pick basically went into the lip of her right boot. Like
Ooh.
she basically tripped on herself. And then because of that, she was trying to compensate for the weight distribution, and then overcompensated and went backwards, and then
Mm-hmm.
there it went. Like it was such a freak fall. And that step sequence was so beautiful up until
Mm-hmm.
then. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
low-y, it was flowy, it was
Mm-hmm.
like, all the things that Rion Sumiyoshi can give you, and it was all there. So she ends up seventh. Maddie Schizas with a return, and we talked about how
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Maud Dupuis got a 185 at Warsaw Cup. Maddie Schizas gets a 188.6 here. So
Crazy. And she
now,
didn't even skate that well. I
no,
mean, it was just,
it was
you know,
better.
yeah.
It was better than she has. I mean, this is the best competition she's had all season in
Yeah.
both programs. She
Mm-hmm.
went back to the Lion King, which
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea.
a good idea, but also like what happened to the whole, like, how much money does it cost to do the Lion
I
King? They're like,
I feel like that's one where you take the chance because Elton John is not going to stand for his music publisher or whoever going after a figure skater because he clearly loves skating.
Elton.
I mean, I have faith in Sir Elton John. I feel like he's going to be kind to Maddie Schizas using the Lion King. He's going to love it.
Maybe Maddie Schizas is friends with Elton John.
I know Nathan Chen is.
So Maddie Schizas gets fifth here.
Hmm.
I mean, had she done a triple toe, she would have been. She could
190s.
have even been on the podium.
Yeah, the way things went.
Uh huh.
Yeah, she was close.
Brady Tennell fourth. a lot of under rotations
Oh my,
and
every jump.
rotation issues.
Yeah.
Although she was very happy with it, given I think she just wants to put down some skates where she feels like she gave it all she could, and that's where she went. Rino Matsuke gets the bronze.
Glorious free skate.
Even
Glorious.
with her underscored components, she gets the bronze.
How on earth is she getting those component scores? Like, if that girl doesn't get nines for skating skills, what are skating skills? Like, what are you guys watching?
I just don't understand.
It's-
Nobody understands.
Her edge work is magnificent, and the words that Lori Nickel told Mark Hanready, because he does his homework so well, he reached out to Lori Nickel for comments and on Reno, and she said that she's kind, and what else did he say? And it was just so beautiful, and it was just like, I feel it, yeah.
What's interesting is I remember when Rino Matsuke first came on the scene as a junior, and I was like, why are you all overscoring her? And now I'm like, why are you all underscoring her? Like,
Give her the components she deserves.
What is happening here?
Yeah.
Like,
Losing in components to Brady Tennell is just like, what's happening? What are components?
what are
Like,
they? What are they?
I mean, I would say she should have been at least second in overall PCS in this event in the free skate. Maybe one. Anyway,
Anyway, skating skills.
but fortunately, she
Mona
got the bronze medal.
She
So.
did. Mona Chiba wins it, 217. Basically, ties her best score of the season. I think her best score was like a 217.29 or something, and she got 217.22. Is basically the best thing that she's done. She had a couple of cues in her free skate. I thought the first lets should have been called. This panel, I will also say, this panel, had it been a different panel here, there would have been a lot more that were called unders or cues. It's once again one of those things where depending on who comes in and thinks that this is on the quarter or just below a quarter, like it's
They really use it selectively, and it's frustrating.
but this was I would say across the board this was fairly consistent for this group. But agreed. I mean, it's like but that's also my whole thing about under rotations and cues is that they try to make it so precise. It's like the whole definition of a cue is it is exactly on a quarter, and it's like, what does exactly mean?
Yeah.
Exactly means something different to everybody, apparently, because like, how do you you can't measure that?
Yeah.
So
I would support an amendment to the Constitution to remove the cue from skating. Just have under rotations and downgrades. And an under rotation will be a half to a quarter.
yeah, and just take the cue out of the
Yeah.
the thing altogether. Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to say more than a quarter up to a half is the under rotation.
Right.
A half or more is downgrade.
I would be fine with that as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sick of it.
But that also that the problem with that, right, is it also means that the people who think a quarter is over a quarter are going to automatically give the under rotation call as opposed to a cue call, which is also unfair. And then of course there's like all this stuff about like, well, AI is going to come in. And like Mark was talking about how
no. Please.
AI, plenty of talk about AI hallucinations. Let's not go there.
I want the judges to evaluate rotation rather than the panel. So like if you have a jump that gets really high GOE right off the bat, and then it gets called as a cue, and then all the judges go and lower their GOE, that's like one or two people see the quarter and like everyone else doesn't. There's a lot more people judging than there are calling. And I mean, their naked eye right there on the ice, they don't see it. I don't think it should be called.
You're also assuming that all the judges have the same technical proficiency.
They should.
They should. I agree.
I mean, I'm not even.
They should.
I'm not a judge, and I feel like I watch enough skating to see this.
They should. A comment for a different time. Amber Glenn gets silver um, due to a bad pick in on a triple Lutz,
Mm-hmm.
and then she didn't pick in for a double toe, and then she never did her double toe. Amber Glenn, if you are listening, please do all your combos because you lost some
Mm-hmm.
precious points on that one. I kept being like Damon Allen needed to just scream double toe to her. like like she just needed to tack on a double toe to one of those things. Now, it didn't end up making a difference because she lost by 3.5 points, and a double
Mm-hmm.
toe is like a point and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like
Mm-hmm.
she could have made it close. But that's also to say, I think there's something about this season that for Amber has been another positive sign. I think last year she was having trouble closing out the last couple of jumps. The
Mm-hmm.
year before she was having a lot of trouble just doing the second half, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like and then this year it's like the second half has been fine and the closing has been fine, and the fact that she made a mistake and came back and skated the rest of the program very well, those are great signs about where her mental state is in these programs.
Yeah.
So, um, you know, it was a silver, but I would call that a win for her in a lot of
Mm-hmm.
ways.
Yeah. Yeah. I was delighted to see Ida Karhunen for the first time. I'd never seen her before, and she is lovely.
And the first thing you saw her do is blink to the music.
Yeah.
Blink, blink,
Her,
blink,
she has
blink, blink.
some blink choreography, some weird jump technique, and some very creative spin positions. And I like her very much.
Her jump technique reminds me of Jana Jyrkinen.
I can't picture that, but I'm sure you're right. I think it reminds me of like girls who aren't Finnish, because I usually expect the Finnish skaters to have really good jump technique. But
Yeah, well, and Jana Jyrkinen is one of those who had like that sort of
mm,
Russian-y
yeah, I
technique.
was gonna say it looks Russian. Yeah.
It's a little bit Russian-y. She also has a triple flip, triple loop. Ida
Wow.
Karhunen. Um, but
I think she's
hopefully,
gonna be the Olympian.
I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like she's got the consistency this season. She's certainly got the
Yeah.
difficulty versus everybody else.
Love the
Um,
tutu as well. I love a triple triple combo in a tutu. It's delightful. I think like the spin positions, it's sort of like I feel like everyone, I'm so used to seeing everyone spins. When I see something new, it's like, oh, that's interesting. I love the way she like pulled in on her like catch foot layback was really cool. And she had like an interesting twist in her camel position. And
I think that
it's
was all
refreshing.
that was all Adam Solia choreography.
Mm. It works on
So
her.
yeah, yeah. Adam Solia, there's a bit of his choreography is a little bit like Benoit Richaud's choreography, where
Mm-hmm.
it's like you can sometimes spot it from a mile away, but then for certain skaters, it's like, oh yeah, that really works really well.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Totally. I like the work he did with her. I wish Luna would go to someone else because I've seen enough Solia on her. But
well,
nobody asked me. So
I I do think her two programs this year, Luna's,
mm-hmm.
have been an improvement for
Mm-hmm.
her. So all right, well, thank you for still being here. If you're still here for this extra long episode, because we had so much to talk about with Finlandia Trophy. There was a lot. Michelle, dare I ask, what are you obsessed about this week?
I was gonna say Ida Karhunen. She's probably my number two of the week. I think number one would be Rino Matsuke's beautiful, beautiful skating and her beautiful forward outside edge that she holds magnificently. But yeah,
I
how about you?
I don't know. There are so many
Yeah.
things that are still in my brain. I was also saying that yesterday
Mm-hmm.
I took a post Finlandia coma nap in the afternoon, and I dreamt that Gabby Papadakis asked me to design a building for her, and I panicked because I have not been an architect for about 10 years, and I don't know how to design buildings anymore, or at least I don't have enough reps
That's
anymore.
okay.
Um, and then she kept asking me questions, and I was sweating. I was sweating in my dream.
So that's like not what would happen in real life. You'd be so psyched. You'd be like, "Oh, well,
I
that's
know
funny because I'm an architect. I can actually build one for you.
it's my
Let's talk about it."
it's my imposter syndrome in my dream. Um, okay, that wasn't what I was obsessed about. I am still obsessed with Tashlarova and Tashler doing their rhythm dance with music that was 4 months old.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
figuring out the beats in like
uh,
real time.
I mean, like, if it were a single skater and they got a different piece of music, it's like
Mm-hmm.
fine. They'll just improvise and figure it out because
Mm-hmm.
that's what you do. In ice dance, everything is so, especially in the rhythm
Mm-hmm.
dance, everything is so prescribed to the music and to the phrasing of the music and to what the
Mm-hmm.
music cuts are and to the beats and all that stuff that I don't know how they pulled that off without it seeming obvious that they had no idea what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
They basically had to switch their brain back to like over the summer when they first cut
Mm-hmm.
this music because this was a music cut from July that was playing and
Oh my
and
God.
fit their current choreography into that and make it all work.
Yeah.
Kudos to them for being able to do that. I mean,
I was also very entertained by the little tantrum they threw at the end of the
I
program.
know
That was fun. Natalie throwing
she
her
looked
arms
at
up like,
she
what's
looked at
wrong
the
with you?
music operator being like,
Yeah.
I told you to change it. What
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah.
Natalie. All right. That's it.
Okay.
That's it
We
for
could do
this
another
week.
hour on this
We could.
crazy weekend.
We could do so much more.
Hmm.
Okay, well, the Grand Prix is over.
Kind of.
Kind of. We have the Grand Prix final coming in
Hmm.
2 weeks. The stage is set. We will see who, if there's anything that happens with substitutions. I feel like every year there's always like one substitution that happens. Um, so just to give you an idea of who the substitutes are, first alternate for the men, Kazuki Tomono. First
Hmm.
alternate for the women, Isabel Levito. First alternate for the pairs, Sui and Han. First alternate for dance, Lejoie Lega. So um, they're probably all, I'm guessing all of them except for Sui and Han are going to Golden Spin.
Kazuki Tomono needs to spend this time getting a new free skate or going back
Or
to an
going
old
back to an
one.
old free skate.
Hmm.
We need an episode about which free skates we would like people to get rid of. Because we've talked about that.
Go shopping. Yeah.
Uh, I look, I still on the subject of Kazuki, I still really like that free skate. He just needs to
No,
skate it clean.
he can do it for the gala.
He can do it for the gala.
Do it for the gala. We need something else. It's like he needs like a beat. He needs like really attention getting met music to
He
inspire him.
he needs a distraction at the beginning of the program.
Hmm.
That's what he needs because
Like someone saying the Pope is dead.
Kazuki Tomono skating to Conclave, the disco version.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was really disappointed no one did those like Gregorian chants from the 90s for the rhythm dance, and they could have worn hoods like Olivia Smart has.
Like
That would have been so good.
like Enigma.
Yeah, but there was that one. It was like the Gregorian monks, and it was like a
Oh
remix of
yeah,
them.
that's
Yeah.
interesting. The Pope is dead.
Hmm.
Okay, so we have Talent Cup or Talent Trophy coming up this weekend.
Hmm.
And then we've got Grand Prix final, like very, very fast. All of these things are going very, very fast. And if you didn't see my post on Twitter, 1 week to Talent Trophy, 2 weeks to Grand Prix final and Golden Spin, 4 weeks to Italian nationals, Japanese nationals, French nationals, 5 weeks to Chinese nationals, 7 weeks to Canadian and American nationals, 8 weeks to Europeans, 9 weeks to 4 continents, and 11 weeks to the Olympics. With the exception of 3 of those weeks, we have huge competitions every single weekend until the Olympics.
Wow. That's a
I
lot of skating.
It's a lot of skating, and Michelle and I are going to be so worn out by the time the Olympics come around.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's okay. Because that's what we trained for. This is our Olympics.
Wow, we've got a really good dance field at Talon Trophy this weekend. It's going to be a
I
fun
haven't I
competition.
haven't even looked. So,
Zingas and Kolesnik are there. Maybe
oh
they're just
wow.
hanging out in Europe. Yeah.
Wow. I bet they withdraw now that they've gotten to the Grand Prix
Mm,
final.
yeah, they should.
Yeah. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's more important to make a good
Mm-hmm.
impression.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so much skating to come. And Michelle and I are going to go heads down to figure out what our podcasting schedule is going to be like over the next couple of months because we're gonna have a lot to cover. So and that's including all of these like national competition scenarios and all the
Olympic team selection.
Olympic team selections, like so many things that are going to happen. And I know you all are interested. I know everybody wants to talk about it. I know everybody wants to know about it. And nobody wants to go into nationals being like, but this person got a whatever medal. They should have been on the team. And it's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
look at the criteria. Um, because we know that's happened before.
Mm-hmm.
So lots to come. Thank you for joining us. As always, this podcast is sponsored by John Wilson Blades and all its brands. And Michelle Ellis, thank you for continuing to be the one nerding out with me because it's so exciting to do this every single week with you. And
Thanks.
we've also,
Same.
yes,
Ditto.
Michelle's like, thank goodness we have so many things to talk about. We have a few actually very cool interviews coming up. Rocker rewatches are happening. So stay tuned for that. And thank you once again to our editor and producer, Tara Nichols. This is an extra long episode. Sorry. You have to
We love
transcribe a
it.
whole bunch of stuff.
Please. Oh, sorry to Tara, though. So sorry, Tara.
To Tara.
Sorry, Tara.
Tara's like, I've learned so much. No,
Yeah.
she's like, I know all this stuff already.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'm going to stop talking. This is Jackie Wong, Chief Skate Nerd and often driver of rockerskating.com. We will talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye.